Hello everyone, my name is Zach and I'm here with Practical C++, the beginner course, and in this tutorial we will be going over the installation of the CodeBlocks IDE. IDE stands for Interactive Development Environment, and we will be using CodeBlocks as our IDE for this entire course. I chose CodeBlocks because, as I said in the introduction, it's actually what I began not only learning C++ in, but programming in general. So not only, that, but it's also free. So I find it is a really good choice to begin your programming, your programming on. So as you can see, I have a web browser open, and if you go to Google and type in the search bar just CodeBlocks, as so, the first link you will see is www.codeblocks.org, and this is where you're going to want to go. You can either click on this first CodeBlocks link and then click on Downloads, or you can do like I'm going to do and just click on the Downloads link below. When the page loads, depending on how my internet is doing right now, but when the page does load, you're going to be brought here, and you will have several links like download the binary release, download the source code, and retrieve source code from SVN. You are going to want to click on download the binary release, and it will bring you to this page. Now, depending on what operating system you're on, you're going to click on something different than I may be clicking on. If you're on Linux 32-bit or Linux 64-bit, you're going to be looking at these boxes right here. If you're on Mac OS X, you're going to want to scroll all the way to the bottom, and they have a download link right here. Me though, I'm on Windows 7, so I will come up here, and if you look, it doesn't say Windows 8 right here, but up here it says Windows 7-8. So these binary builds should work on Windows 8 and 8.1. In fact, I've actually downloaded it on Windows 8 and 8.1, so I know for a fact it will work. If you look over here, there are two different links. There's BurleyOS and SourceForge.net. I'm not that familiar with BurleyOS, but I am familiar with SourceForge, and I use it for a lot of my downloads, so I would recommend using SourceForge.net. Now, there are three different types of binary releases that you can download. Now, when I first started programming, my instructor had us download this binary release right here, the second one on the list, which is perfectly fine, works great. But as I got into more advanced C++ programming, where I started doing concurrent threads and different kind of concurrent thread processing, multi-threaded processing, I needed this GCC 4.8.1 for my CodeBlocks to work with threads. It's a specific compiler. So I would recommend, if you plan on going more in depth with C++ and maybe taking a course after this, to go ahead and download this one, because if you start getting into threads in C++, you will have to come back and download this compiler right here for CodeBlocks to work. Otherwise, this right here is a great option as well. So either one is fine for this course. You're going to want to go ahead and click on SourceForge.net to continue on either one of the links. I'm going to click on the second one. It will take you to SourceForge.net, and the countdown will begin for your download. And after the countdown, the exe file should be downloaded. We'll give it a second. And right down here, you can see CodeBlocks 13.1.2.exe. And it says there's still, 9-10 minutes left before it's done downloading on mine, so it might take a while for it to download. I'm not going to sit through this tutorial and wait for it to finish downloading, simply because I already have it downloaded on my computer. But I will tell you, when it does finish downloading, you're going to want to launch the exe file, and a install wizard will pop up. And it's a very simple install wizard. Basically, you just click next on every single pop-up window, and it should install very easily with no problems. After it's done installing, you're going to want to search for the program, either by using your search like this, or it might have even put it in your taskbar like I have it right here, and it might even have a desktop shortcut. Whatever the case, you're going to want to launch code blocks. You'll give it a little bit of time, especially on the first time launching it. When the first time you launch it, it might take a little bit longer than you expect. Also, though it seems like it's taking a while for it to download on my computer, my internet connection is quite slow right now. I just moved, and I have slow download speed as of right now because I haven't yet upgraded my internet. So that at your house, it'll probably go a lot faster than mine. I think I have like 8 megabit download speed right now. This is what's going to pop up when Code Blocks launches, and in the next tutorial, we are going to create a new project, and we will discuss the Hello World project that will be created and discuss the anatomy of our very first C++ program. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.